Welcome, learners, to the lesson. Today we will move on with the topic project management, and we will focus on baseline surveys. The objectives of today's lesson, number one, is that by the end of the lesson you should be able to define baseline surveys. You should be able to explain the importance of baseline surveys and the contents of a baseline survey. So firstly, what's the meaning of a baseline survey? Now, candidates, baseline survey means a systematic gathering of data for a particular purpose from various sources, including questionnaires, interviews, observation, existing records, electronic devices, and so on. And it is usually a preliminary process to statistical analysis of data. So when in relation to project management, so a baseline survey is a systematic gathering of information for a particular purpose, and this purpose in project management is so that to ensure that the project is completed based on the baseline, okay? So that to ensure that the project is completed on time and the project is able to be delivered and brought into a closure, and the project meets the specification and the deliverables of the project are to the standard that is required. And candidates, one reason why baseline surveys are conducted is so that the information that is gathered is used as a basis for subsequent assessment of how efficiently the project activity will be implemented and the eventual results achieved. That's one reason. Another reason is that baseline survey is an early element in monitoring and evaluation plan that uses the log frame structure to systematically assess the circumstances in which a project commences. Another reason why baseline surveys are conducted is that baseline survey gathers key information early in a project so that later judgments can be made about the quality and the development results achieved of the project. Now, having defined baseline surveys and highlighted the importance, the other question we need to answer in this question is, what are the contents of a baseline survey? Contents of project baseline survey. Contents of project baseline survey. What are the contents? Included in a baseline survey will have, number one, what we call schedule baseline. Number two is a cost baseline. Number three, scope baseline. And lastly, quality baseline. We'll move to explain these contents, beginning with the schedule baseline. What is a schedule baseline? A schedule baseline is just a fixed schedule that is used in measuring project progress and contract performance. And any changes or any change caused by change in scope of the project invalidates the original schedule and necessitates a new schedule baseline or a new baseline schedule. Number 2, we have the cost baseline. Cost baseline. Now, the cost baseline is the basis for earned value reporting system. And it is upon the cost baseline, which is subsequently converted into a project budget, that can now be used to measure actual performance against the cost baseline. And the cost baseline ensures that the project costs do not deviate from the budgeted costs. It is just a budget for the estimated cost of the project that is spread over time periods of the project. So it's a budget for the estimated cost of the project and is used to ensure that the expenditure is in conformity to the cost baseline or the cost or the project budget. That's the cost baseline. Then we have the scope baseline. The scope baseline includes the project scope statement. Includes the project scope statement. It also includes the work breakdown structure. The work breakdown structure and the work breakdown structure dictionary. The scope baseline includes the project scope statement, the work breakdown structure, and also the work breakdown structure dictionary. And if there are work packages that do not get performed, or if they do not fulfill the requirements that are set for them, then the scope baseline is not met. Because remember, this baseline is set before the project commences. So the performance of the project manager as well as the rest of the team is derived from how well the project conforms to the scope baseline. The scope baseline outlines what the jurisdiction, what has to be done and what should not be done. So the performance of the project manager as well as the performance of the team is based on the scope baseline. And it has to, their performance, the actual performance must conform to the scope baseline in order to meet the project requirements and also to achieve the purpose of the project. Then lastly, we have the quality baseline. Quality baseline. Now, quality baseline is simply the basis for which project quality is measured and reported. It is the basis for which project quality is measured. It is the basis for which project quality is measured and reported. All right, so these are the contents of project baseline survey. We have the schedule baseline, the cost baseline, which translate into the project budget, the costs. All right, it is on the basis of the cost baseline that the project expenditures are measured. And if there is any deviation from the cost baseline, then the actual expenditure must be brought back to the estimated cost baseline. Then we also have this cost scope baseline, and say the scope baseline includes the project scope statement, the work breakdown structure, the work breakdown structure dictionary, and so on. Then there is the quality baseline, which you have said is a basis for which project quality is measured and reported. Now, having gone through the baseline surveys, I'll move to give you one assignment. Give you an assignment. Question 1, define project baseline survey. Number 2, explain the importance of baseline surveys. Number 3, outline the contents of a project baseline survey. Please answer the question without referring to your notes. Thank you for attending our today's session. The subject is leadership and management. We've done features of projects and baseline surveys. In our next session, we will illustrate the project life cycle. Thank you. Bye-bye. God bless you.